Good evening, Worlds Collide fans, and welcome to another exciting race of our Warring Triad flag set. We are in the quarterfinals, and tonight we have two of those quarterfinalists doing a Doom's Rage seed for you all. We have Shadow Sid representing Team Guardian versus Bosch Nasty representing Team Grand Train. My name is Gar. I am joined in the booth by Joker Mage. Joker, what is going on, sir? How are you?
All right, I've just given the racers a 1-minute warning, so we're going to be starting very shortly. And hopefully all goes well, because I am also doing the restreaming, which does mean actually you are mostly going to be hearing Gar and not me. But we also have Knuckley, who's thankfully doing tracking, because I'm not sure if I'd be able to keep track of all that stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, you get to hear me most of the time, but hey, maybe some of y'all like that, you freaks. Just kidding. All right, Doom's Rage. So, the big deal behind this one is that you start with minus 10 magic power, but also plus 20 vigor. So, that combined with the dead check pool that consists mostly of very high tier weapons is going to be enough to convince our runners to just swing big swords or attack with big spears in order to get through the seed. We'll see how much of that actually happens. I believe that last night we had a Doom's Rage seed, which was completed in just over an hour, shattering all kinds of records there, which I think is phenomenal. We'll see if we can get a repeat performance tonight, and if we are, Shadow Sid and or Bosch Nasty would be some of the ones to do it. Bosch Nasty, I know, got a 103 a few weeks ago, which is, again, just a phenomenal time for these sets of flags. They are not easy. And the end, which will consist of all of our runners defeating the 3 statue bosses, that can very well trip some people up. So let's see what we're working with here. Looks like we're starting with Gao and Shadow. I think I saw Throw. Slot and Throw, yeah. So very, very nice. That's going to give both of our runners here just a lot of out-of-the-gate offense. Throw is good for the entirety of the game. Slots normally would be useful, except when the same person also has Throw. So not really much of a decision to be had there. You buy a bunch of skeins, you buy your earrings, and then you are off to the races. A little bit of divergence right off the rip. Shadow said opting to go and do some looting in Narsh, pardon me. Bosch Nasty, meanwhile, heading over to Gao's dad's house for a shadow check, picks up Celeste. I believe that was health on the Celeste. Not 100% sure. Can't read that fast. Yeah, and it looks like Bosch is actually going to skip Narsh for now. He says, look, I know the power that I've got. I just need a little bit of money so I can buy skeins and earrings, and then I'm going to be on my way.
Sorry about that. I'm still just trying to get a couple things fine-tuned here. As you can see, the timers are a bit off, so I'm working on that right now.
No worries, Joker Mage. Thank you very much for your hard work. So not a whole lot to be said at the moment. Bosch Nasty did find a Pearl Rod. I think that Shadow Sid found an Ice Rod. So rods early are very good. You can crack them for, in the case of the Elemental Rods, your Fire, Ice, and Thunder Rods, you can crack them for the level 2 spell of their respective element. It is a max power spell that it goes through your defense. It goes through like wall or reflect and everything like that. So very, very nice. Bosch Nasty finds some water edges, opts to buy a handful of them. That is good enough to get us started, I think. Shadow Sid finds the PM Stalkers in the Narsh Monster in a Box chest, so getting some good levels very early on. Bosch Nasty, I think, is going to mostly rely on the Serpent Trench to get his levels. There are 4 fixed encounters there. And we're just going to start the seed off doing a little bit of looting. I don't know if Bosch is going to wind up going into the basement. He hasn't really found a whole lot of very good weapons or items or anything like that. So he may do it mostly just as a money play. But speaking of money play, there's a Mega Elixir in a pot. Shadow Sid getting through those PM Stalkers, no problem. And more bolt edges. And Shadow Sid following behind Bosch, gonna go get his Celeste. Was that a 37 magic power Celeste? That's actually a lot, considering that she has -10, but I may have just saw that incorrectly. My goodness. There's the dried meat for Bosch, so that will allow him to go and do the Velt check, which is one of Gal's checks. That one's really nice. It is guaranteed to reward progression, so that'll either be a character or an Esper. It will never just be a high-tier item. And yeah, says, I am not going to do the basement. I have what I need.
Okay, so I'm going to just apologize. For some reason, I'm not able to get the streams to sync the way I want them to. So just be aware that Bosch is 5 seconds ahead in terms of what we're seeing.
Yeah, and the only time that really matters is what both of our runners put into the race room at the end. So we'll keep up with that as best as we can, just in case we wind up having like a photo finish.
No. And in any case, this is the first race for these teams. And I believe you may have some dogs in this race, since you are a member of Grand Train, which is the same team as Bosch Nasty. Is that correct?
That's right. Choo choo.
And so depending on how Bosch does, I think your other teammate, Scarsfer, is going to be going against Oregon tomorrow, possibly, for the second round. Then you will be facing Drinks Glue on Friday for the third round. So depending on how those goes, you may be playing for everything, or you may just be playing for the glory of it.
And in any event, I will have been absolutely thrilled to participate. This has been like just such a fun event. I really, really like the flags here, and I hope we get more events like this in the future. And given our exceptional event team, I fully believe that there are just bigger and better things on the horizon. So.
Yeah. So before the race, I did look up some stats. So I do know that Bosch is, I think, 3-3 in the group stages, and Shadow Sid is 2-4 in group stages. However, both of them are 1-1 when it comes to the Doom Range flag set. So they've both won a Doom Range and lost a Doom Range. So they could. It does feel like they might be on fairly even footing going into this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of the things that, like, when the event was being put together and all the teams were being divvied out, was that we kind of tried to match up people as equally as we can in terms of skill level, and we tried to not make any one team super overpowered. And I think that Double Down, our wonderful admin for this event, I think he did a great job putting the teams together. and did a fantastic job with the flag sets. All of this is his fault.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting thing, especially like seeing just how different this is from the usual Ultras League that we're all familiar with.
Yeah. So Bosch Nasty finds a hero ring and an ammo weapon in a pot. And I imagine that Shadow Sid is going to go into the basement and take a look and find all of that stuff for himself as well. So as far as the offense goes, we're mostly solved already, which is kind of wild to see. Just 8 minutes into the seed.
Well, my understanding, and I've honestly seen mostly Poltergeist seeds because that's usually what we end up restreaming. So I haven't seen quite as many Doom flag sets. But my understanding from what I've heard is that Doom is a very punchy flag set.
Yes, it is the punchiest of all the flag sets. Your ideal is that you find like your Illuminas, your Ragnaroks, your Atma weapons, and you just swing them as hard as you can, which in Doom's Rage flag sets tends to be very, very hard because of that plus 20 vigor. So here we see one of the benefits of doing Gauss check first is that the only encounter that you can find here, if you don't run into any random encounters, the only thing that you'll find here is the Lobo. The Lobo is very easy to kill.
Okay, so like the Veld populates from the fights you've already seen then.
Yes. 100%. We get Shoat the Goat for our efforts. Not really a lot to say about that one. HP plus 10% is okay. If that had an extra 0 at the end, it'd be a lot more attractive. But what are you going to do?
At the very least, if you can't find any other things, that is a method for getting rid of Long Arm in the final fight.
Oh, yeah.
And I think just going quickly back to the Veld thing, I think I've seen like SR Behemoths actually on the Veld before.
There's a lot of weird encounters that you can find there. The martial enemy you can find there. The senior behemoth, super behemoth, etc. You find them there. The white dragon, you can find that there too.
But you preferably just want to find that Lobo.
Yeah, Lobo, or something else that's relatively easy to kill. Bosch Nasty bought a bunch of Blizzard Orbs. I think that's a very interesting play. Normally, the Blizzard Orb is something that only Umaru can equip. However, because of the Doom's Rage flag set offering a 50% bonus to equip pools, it turns out 3 of the 4 party members can actually equip that. So it basically gives you cold or ice absorption, and it'll nullify fire. Okay, and that rage ring that he put on will absorb fire and nullify lightning.
And that's kind of helpful with these particular flag sets, because all of the Triad flag sets have some sort of elemental link, and in this case it's the ice, because we've banished the fire and lightning spells to the Great Oblivion Abyss. And so you're only going to have ice spells and a few of the other stuff that's like non-elemental or more obscure elemental. And so stuff that lets you deal with elemental problems is very nice to have in this flag set.
Yeah, absolutely. The reason why we don't give our runners fire or bolt spells is because Doom, the namesake of this flag set, well, you can hit him normally with those, and well, that's not cool at all. So we decided, hey, no fire, no bolt. You get ice. Doom will let you have ice because he absorbs ice. So he's happy if you cast it on him. Shadow Sid looks like he's doing some early grinding. Finds Barbie and Critic. He also had another fight earlier, and I forget what that was, but not bad as far as EXP goes. He's up to level 10 and 11 now, so if he wants to skip the Serpent Trench, which is understandable, it is a little bit of a longer check.
Yeah, so it looks like he's
now he
getting
has that
levels to go into the Coliseum here. Fixed ice for Ether, ice rods, and I haven't really. Thunder rods are nice.
Yeah. So that fixed ice might be the best thing in there. But Sid is. I guess he's looking at his party, trying to figure out like which one of these people would be the best to go in there.
Now, there's no bonus for Coliseum in this flag set, is there?
That's correct. In our Poltergeist flag set, you would get a Dragoon set for doing this. Here, it's just the thrill of the fight.
Samurai goes down pretty quickly. And I think he did trade to get the fixed dice, and it looks like everyone can actually equip it, so that's pretty useful.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
If we can find some Genji gloves or offerings, that can be a lot of early game power, even some late game power.
Yeah, fixed ice is it's a good weapon. It does basically fixed damage that nothing can like reduce. Towards the end of the game, though, it tends to fall off, at least in my head, just because of the random element to it. Like when you need it to do a bunch of damage, it won't, and that can often be very deadly.
And generally, towards the late game, there's going to be better options, like stuff like Merton, Ultima, Atma Weapon, Valiant Knife.
Well, in general, yes, no Merton or Ultima in this set of flags, but yeah. That being said, if you have nothing else going on, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and use your fixed dice. Encounters down here on the Serpent Trench, not overly fantastic, but they're also not very deadly either. So I reckon that we're reasonably happy to see these.
And Bosch already got the Esper from Velt, so this will be, once we're at Nakia, that'll be everything we need to know about Gauss checks.
Yep. Sid, meanwhile, just got some levels, is opting to do Cyan checks first, starting with the Siege. He already has some levels under his belt, so this makes sense. Finds an Air Force. This is a bit of a dangerous fight. Because all three parts can do stuff. Sorry.
Did he get 2 fixed dice?
Looks like he did. Yeah, 2 fixed dice, and he picked up a Genji glove somewhere.
Okay.
And Maju in there for Bosch Nasty at the end of the Serpent Trench. Life 3 and X Zone. Those are pretty decent spells. Life 3 is Calmness Protection if you're in a pinch.
And that Air Force went down pretty fast because he was able to throw water at it. So we do have a throw character, and that is another solution to some of the elemental problems we'll encounter, because there are elemental edges, elemental schemes that you can just throw to do that elemental damage that you don't otherwise have.
Yeah. So Air Force weak to both water and bolt. So good on Shadow Sid for recognizing that. And he gets a Fenrir Esper for his trouble. Fenrir, an exceptional Esper. It lets you cast, or lets you put the image status on your entire party, which would be very good for getting, or for blocking the Calmness ability that will be happening later on. So we'll talk about that once we get there.
So I think we're seeing the Velt check now on Shadow Sid's side. He's done a lot more fights, so isn't just going to get Lobo right away, but may have to go through a few other things.
Yeah, so finds the Night Stalker encounter here. Unfortunately, pincer attacks like this will not give you the check. It must be just a regular old attack or a regular old formation.
And we do see that Boshnesti is doing the floating continent.
Oh, these encounters are so bad, though. So this is the first one. Earthguard and Peepers, they have very, very low HP. In the vanilla game, that's what you find on the solitary island. But they're not useful at all. So hopefully this is like double Gigantos for the next encounter. Okay, Warp Pucks are annoying because they can sneeze your party members out.
I remember my favorite strategy against these guys is to get control and control one and explode it into the other.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll get rid of them. So that one's not a bad encounter. Unfortunately, this next one will once again be the Earthguard Peepers encounter.
Then what are we expecting at the boss fight for this?
Doomgaze and the Magimaster.
You just want evil to happen then.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, no. Let's see. I'm thinking that this is a vanilla Ultras 4.
And maybe it's Ultros 3 and we just think it's Ultros 4, and then when Chupon doesn't show up, we're like, oh, that was interesting. 42,000 on the Zenith.
It is a glowing stone, so it is progression. Shadow Sid might see what this is in the world of ruin. See if he can get a little bit of a discount. Bosch Nasty finding Guardian up here. It is good to find this guy early. Because this guy has a bunch of HP, and if you let him scale up, you can be fighting this person for quite a while.
Yeah, encountering him at his vanilla spot is very annoying in these kinds of flags. Because, you have to get through him, then get through semi-vanilla statues.
Yeah, but we have 2 Thunder Rods. I think that Bosch purchased both of those. That plus the Bolt Edges should be enough to take him out in pretty short order. So good to get this out of the way early. If Shadow Sid doesn't go to the floating continent pretty quickly, he might have a much rougher time just because he's going to be scaled up a lot more.
Yeah. And this is like a very interesting starting group because you've got like the 3 characters who are gating the 3 super long checks. So you got Floating Continent behind Shadow, you got Doma Dream behind Cyan, and you've got Magitech Facility behind Celeste. And it looks like we're going to see that Magitech Facility actually.
Yeah, and there, I don't think there is a right or wrong play here for either of our runners. I tend to prefer Floating Continent a little bit more than Magitech, just because you have 2 guaranteed bits of progression as opposed to just the 1. And I think in this scenario, I would hold on to Magitech and just do the first 2, and if you need the Espers at that point. So in any event, I think this is fine, especially if there's a character at the end of this, and there isn't one at Floating Continent 1 or 3, that could potentially put Shadow Sid quite a bit ahead.
And how would you compare these 2 to Doma Dream?
Doma Dream is just good in general. It's 2 bosses, 3 checks, and you can get through it pretty quickly. One of those checks will always be guaranteed, so again, I like it quite a bit. Might actually be my favorite Esper, or my favorite check in the game.
Okay. Yeah, so we got Try Talk at the trash compactor site, and we picked up a Crusader at the first actual check for floating continent. So just has to go through the maze, then see what's at the Atma weapon spot.
Yeah, and Crusader has the Ice 3 spell, which is basically the best spell that you can learn that isn't called Cure 3.
Tritalk goes down, and we'll see what's at the other end of this very shortly.
Battle of the Dogs there.
Did one of them learn Ultima?
I didn't see.
I don't know. My eyes are not the greatest, so I could have misread something, but it went by pretty fast. But it almost looked like it said that if we have a natural magic user that's naturally going to learn Ultima, that would be very interesting.
Yeah, so even though we have minus 10 magic power, Ultima is still a very, very powerful spell. So it may be worth casting, even if you pick up some big sticks like Sid just did with that Ragnarok. And French Vanilla number 1714. Normally you're supposed to fight this guy at the end of the minecart, but he decided that he was tired of being down there. A little bit lonely, decided to come up here.
And he is vulnerable to lightning, is that right?
Yes. He is a machine type enemy, and he will be vulnerable to lightning as such. That being said, he will also take damage from fire attacks. So if you don't have bolt edges, do those too. I'm not 100% sure actually if he is weak to water.
Yeah, Hydenites at the Atma weapon spot.
Pearl Rod's cool. Pearl Rod's gonna get rid of this guy like pretty darn quick.
That's some nice numbers.
Yeah, pretty darn quick.
And Shadowsid is going through the rest of the Magitech facility, so wants to see what's at the end of the minecarts, I guess.
And this makes total sense to me. In Doom's Rage Seeds, more than the other Warring Triad seeds, it's really important to get levels because you're relying so much on physical offense. And when you rely that much on physical offense, you want to get as many levels as possible because it's factored into your damage calculations twice. Whereas with magic, it's only factored in there once. So this first fight is a displayer. I don't think that this is actually a terrific encounter as far as like the experience goes.
Is it undead?
It is undead. Whereas with Bosch Nasty finding the Gillimantis Mesosaur encounter, this should be a lot more lucrative. Okay, maybe not that much more lucrative, but still pretty good.
Yeah, the fire scroll there did some pretty decent numbers on that.
Oh, this is a great encounter. The Daedalus is undead, and the Veteran is annoying, but absolutely possible to get through.
Looks like he controlled the Veteran. It looks like the Daedalus is trying to cast spells, but doesn't have the magic power for it. We just got a bunch of peepers over in the minecarts.
Yes, this will be a really, really good experience for Bosch.
He also learns Condemned from that, so if he has a lore user.
Condemned is just... Have I ever cast that one? I don't think I have. And then just Ultras 1 blocking the way out. So,
that's more like just a small fleshy speed bump.
Yep. So we'll see what's at the end of this. And then, with some big rolls there, Shadow Sid getting rid of the Rex Soul. And Bosch finds Edgar at the end. That is very spicy.
I didn't see what was on Edgar.
Just steel.
Okay, but it does open up the that whole check chain for him. But it looks like we're just going to see what's on the throne.
Yep, makes sense to me.
And Sid just has to get through this last boss and is done with Magic Facility. That is Ragnarok Esper.
Shadow Sid picks up Rag. Bosch picks up Ifrit. And has to fight some Sky Piranhas. This is maybe my least favorite fight, just because it can take forever, and, well, I guess not this time.
Yeah, the big boss of the Piranhas came out right away. I don't think I've ever had him come out that fast.
It's pretty rare for that to happen to me, so it is nice every time it does happen, though. So,
in any case, Shadow Sid is through Magic Facility, got some Espers, but no characters for it. Where does he go next?
I want to see him do FC, but like there are lots of other temptations for him. The Doma Dream is certainly one of them.
And I don't believe we have any Sword Tech users. So, and I don't know if the Sword Tech was enabled for this flag set.
It is. The straight Esper there gives you magic power +2, so very, very powerful. And so Bosch, gonna follow in Sid's footsteps, gonna take on the Air Force here. And then I expect that Bosch will do the Dream right after this. So just because the Doma in the World of Ruin is right there. And again, it's a really good check. That Thunder Rod, once again, coming in handy. So this might actually just do it right here. Yep.
We're about to see what the is at the Stooges fight. Bosch did get X Zone learned off for one of the characters. Oh, just a tunnel armor. Okay. Probably one of the least threatening bosses you can encounter, I think.
Tunnel armor is, like, in contrast to the Piranhas, tunnel armor is probably my favorite because it gives you an elixir and it's very, very easy to kill. Plus, if you get it scaled high enough, it can cast Merton and kill itself, which is... it's hilarious. Okay, Bosch skipping Doma Dream for now, opts to go into Cable on the Veld. This is another fine check. You get to peek whatever's here. Shadow Sid, meanwhile, just finds another Atma weapon, which is a little unfortunate.
So if you're in Shadow Sid's position right now, you're hoping that you're going to find a character soon.
Yeah, and the longer that Shadow Sid waits to go to Floating Continent, I think the worse off that he gets. So there are plenty of other checks that he has access to. But right now, the only character that we know about is up there at the end of Floating Continent. So if it's locked through there and Shadow Sid doesn't go up there until the last minute, then that could potentially be disastrous.
And we do see Katana Soul, so we've found a source for offerings now.
Love an offering, especially when you've got that Atma weapon in hand. And should be able to take care of this pretty handily. You can sketch the Katana Soul and get the Slayer Edge. I believe it's only like a 25% chance to happen. But Bosch, I think he did a sketch and was like, whatever. I'll just go ahead and kill him the old-fashioned way. So gets his offering, gets $65,000.
Yeah, all in all, it's a great one to find if you can find it. But it is, I think, in the vanilla game, it's in the ancient castle. Is that correct?
That's right. And it's in the ancient castle proper and not in that cave. I think the one in the cave is the Master Pug,
which is kind of the opposite of Katana Soul, and in terms of how often you want to find it.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Yep, the actual Inferno. This isn't 128. This is the guy himself here at the Rexall spot.
Yeah, Inferno is significantly worse than number 128. It is far more aggressive. It's got a lot more HP, and in general, like that Sobat is a super hard hitting move, and he just loves to counter with it. There's Doomgaze. Let's see if the math is good. It sure is. So,
yep.
Shouldn't have too much trouble with this. You throw shurikens, you attack with your Atma weapon. You got Pearl, you might as well use that too. Yep.
And Inferno is down.
And fortunately, Sid's Cyan taking a nap, but sometimes you gotta make sacrifices.
Okay, so we do get Palador from that.
Yeah, so hopefully whatever is on the throne isn't dead, or if it is dead, is something that's really good. Okay, so we get the Torado Esper there. So
okay, so once Bosch is through this, he will be on 7 Espers and 5 characters. Definitely, like, I mean, right now that does feel like a slight advantage, but we've all seen seeds where, you know, you make the right call, you go to the right check, you approach fights with the right strategy, and all that can turn around. So it is still fairly close.
yeah, again, like the biggest lead that Bosch has right now is the fact that he's got Edgar and Sid doesn't. So if there is a character here at Mount Zozo, then Sid's in really, really good shape. Otherwise, he might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, if it ends up that Edgar is the path through, then Sid is good. Just gets further and further behind the longer he puts off Floating Continent. If there's some other path, like some alternative form of divergence, like a character somewhere else, Sid just needs to find that, and that could make all the difference.
Yeah, so we'll see where Bosch goes.
Where would you go as Bosch?
I would lean hard into Edgar checks. He is my most recently acquired character, and the character progression system in Worlds Collide tends to be deep rather than wide. So Bosch's most recent character was Edgar. It is more likely that you find a character doing Edgar checks, and sure enough, there's Realm.
Yeah. Okay, and did we get a good look at what, by any chance, what the skip was for this seed?
Yeah, so the skip is 7 characters, 12 espers, and 24 checks. So not the best. If we wind up getting a 7th character, I think that's good. Otherwise, I don't think either of our runners are going to specifically go out of their way and try and get it.
In any case, we finish up the castle to get Realm. I think Bosch already checked the throne, so there's no reason to go back up there. Do you continue on with Ancient Castle, or do you move on to like Realms checks?
I think I do something else. It doesn't necessarily have to be realm checks, but I don't think that I do Ancient Castle in this situation. You've got Doma Dream on the table. You've got Mount Zozo, which, as we see, is an Esper, and then you've got the first two. You've got the first two of Magitech plus whatever realm has.
And just upper arm day, shoulder day is guarding the engine room.
Yeah, fun, Robert. If you for those viewers at home, if you've got like some dumbbells or something next to you, why don't you do a few curls? You got to get buff like Fun Baba.
And Fumbaba is, I think, lightning elemental in terms of like what his strengths and weaknesses are built around. So yeah, he's going to be throwing lightning elemental stuff at you. Is he weak to water?
He is not. No. He is weak to poison. So if you have the bio spell, that'll put in a good chunk of work. Otherwise, you just you do a bunch of damage to him.
Yeah, I think that was a Genji Atma dual wields.
Lower Realm. I didn't see how much magic power she had, but I reckon that Bosch is just happy with his party as is. So he is on his 6th character, and we'll see what he opts to do here. I think if I'm in his shoes, I just go ahead and take care of Doma Dream.
Yeah, that does make sense. It's got a high chance for having Espers. It's not a very hard check usually, and you know it's probably the best option at this point.
And Sid finding out the hard way that Reflect will in fact reflect health back onto the enemies. So.
And I think he got that reflect from defeating the first dragon, if I'm right.
Yes. So with Doom's Rage Seeds, with Doom's Rage Seeds, you get auto reflect when you kill 1 dragon, you get auto haste when you kill 3, and then you get auto image when you kill 5. 5 dragons is little bit more than what most people would do, but if your route takes you there, auto image is a very, very powerful status. So
and it does look like Organ Dude is in chat, probably here to cheer on Sid and sort of get psyched up for his own match against Scarsfer in this same group.
Grand Train is coming, choo choo, rolling through that station. So Bosch here, gonna do at least the first 2. He may opt to do the 3rd, although I think personally, I would be a little surprised if that were to happen.
And that's mostly just because he's already on 6 characters, and you don't really need that extra character so much as you need those Espers.
Right. Well, that and like the doing Magitech 1 and 2 is relatively quick. Once you're done with 1, 2 is just up a few flights of stairs, and then you're there. But
Right.
3 is a time commitment because you've got 3 random fights plus 2 boss fights at the end. So.
Okay, so Sid is through the Guardian. And what was the second boss here for Floating Continent?
I don't remember. It wasn't anything like super dangerous. Yeah, Dullahan.
Okay, yeah. So Tritalk is down. And then I believe it was 128 at the a French vanilla 128, if I recall.
Upstairs?
Yeah, is that right?
Well, that would be the vanilla spot.
I thought the wasn't it number 30?
Oh! I'm sorry. I get my numbers mixed up. I think you're right. Number 24, I think, is the
right.
the Magimaster wannabe.
Okay, so it gets Crusader.
Yeah, so this should be no problem for Bosch. This flare proc might actually put him away. If not, then as long as Cyan hits him, then should be good.
Said finding the monster in a box, and it's just Lobo. I think the Lobo monster in box is the one that you normally encounter in the trading facility in Narsh, because that's sort of like your introduction to monsters in a box.
Yep, absolutely. So it gets through the number, and we're warping out. Yep. I totally expect that. I don't think that he checked Zen Thief, and so that's where he's going right now.
Yeah,
and he may just wind up paying full price for this.
Yeah, it was like 40K, I think, or 46K. 42K, and that's Seraphim.
And that is unlock for Bosch Nasty at about 44.37. So very, very quick.
Now, do you do any quick checks to see if there's any extra characters around, or do you just go for it?
Nope, time to go. Well, you can maybe peek. I would peek Esper Mountain, and then if it's not a character, just go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any other quick peekable spots that we haven't already seen.
No. That's basically your best bet. And Bosch is just going to say, yeah, I'm not interested. Let me just go ahead and get the show on the road here. So we'll see how he divvies up his party.
So he's stacking group 3.
Okay, so it looks like he's going to clear up the middle and then warp out and then do the wings. And I think in general I'm a fan of this, and I think in Bosch Nasty's situation I don't hate it. I think that he was capable of getting through all 3 of the statues, but this way is certainly a lot safer.
I think Bosch is on about 13 or 14 checks at this point. He's using a tracker that doesn't actually keep track of checks, so I'm just counting.
Yeah, I believe that Bosch uses the old emo tracker, which unfortunately, there have been some updates to Worlds Collide since then, but emo tracker is no longer being supported. So, and Bosch is just going to run into this. Has no fear. Has already seen Doom Gaze, so isn't going to have the jump scare for that. And instead finds everyone's favorite daddy, the Luma Daddy.
Yeah, here's another boss that's just not really a threat at all.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever talked to Andrew Racho, but Andrew loves this fight because it has a really, really cool script. And unfortunately, because his HP is so minimal, you never get to see it.
I think he heals himself and then like summons extra people to fight for him, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and then if you leave him alone long enough, he'll start throwing stuff at you. It's incredibly rude, actually.
Okay, Edgar is going to show up. So Sid now knows time to go do some Edgar checks.
Bosch is taking on this Gold Dragon. This is an interesting play. I thought that he was going to not take any dragons at all because of that health, and that'll allow him to keep his party healthy. But there is no time for caution here.
What are the advantages to auto reflect in the either against the statues or against Final Kefka?
Well, the big one here is that for Poltergeist, if he decides to cast Stop, that auto reflect will reflect the stop back onto him, and then he's able to. You can get through him pretty quickly. Otherwise, you can reflect some otherwise nasty spells that would otherwise kill a party member. It does mean that you can't heal with like health or cure 2 or anything like that anymore. And I'm not 100% sure what kind of items Bosch has. So I think he did pick up a Mega Elixir that he never sold, so he does have that at the very least.
I think we saw Fenrir.
We did see Fenrir. Unfortunately, multi-summon is not on for this flag set, so you can't just continually bring it out like you can in both the Goddess and Poltergeist flags.
Right. But that is like one potential utility Esper for the final fight.
Oh yeah, 100%. So Sid actually has a very interesting choice to make coming up here because he's going to see that this is an Esper, and then is probably going to go and take care, go to Figaro basement, get the realm, but they're going to have 11 Espers, so they would have the skip.
I'm getting a little audio issues there, but I'm not sure where that's coming from.
Have I ever seen Metal miss Katana Soul like that? I don't think I have.
Nope, but there's the Slayer's Edge.
Yep, so and if y'all didn't know that trick, you can confuse the Katana Soul, and he will cast Slayer Edge on himself, usually. And that'll be the end of him. Other fun facts, he is vulnerable to being poisoned, so if you have poison or bio, you can get him sick, and you'll do a bunch of HP that way, or a bunch of damage that way.
Okay, Bosch is on switches.
Yeah, so again, he's not going to be able to do the wings. He only has one party member each, but is going to be able to clear out the middle.
He can also scout the wings, though.
Yes. And finds Chatternook here. This is actually really nice for Bosch because if Shadow Sid, if he gets the skip, or if he goes into the tower without sending his entire party through the right, this could potentially be a disaster for him because Chatternook is rude.
Okay, that Pearl's going to do some damage.
Yeah, this flare might actually put him away. Chad does have a bunch of HP, so we'll see. Okay, nope. Down he goes. Okay, Sid sees the Esper and is warping out, so is not interested in getting the skip, at least not through Espers.
And Sid is going down to, that does look like South Figaro World of Ruin, right?
Yep. So this is the South Figaro Cave. He's going to see the realm here. Probably be pretty darn happy about that.
Okay, we do have Poltergeist. And I think this is still center lane.
This is still the middle lane, and it's really good to see Pulte here. So yeah, Bosch is not really gonna have a difficult time with this, and yep, down it goes.
And so he's got about a 3-minute walk, I think, to get back to switches from the top of tower, right?
Yeah, roundabout. Does not have to do the Inferno fight or the Guardian fight or the Poltergeist fight again. Okay, so opts to just warp out. Isn't going to scout the wings.
Okay, so he didn't see what was at the wings, correct?
No, what is he doing? Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. I'm thinking that he's got a skip of some fly.
Right. Yeah, he has to go back through the tower. So he's putting, he's basically using the group 3 now as a Moogle charm carrier to hit the switches.
Yeah. No, I was very confused for a moment because I was like, wait, isn't he doing the skip? And I was like, no, wait, he doesn't have it.
Yeah, so this is a completely correct play as far as when you have to go through the entire tower again. Okay, so it's that Shadow Sid's realm, and that's also Shadow Sid's final Kefka. Does Shadow Sid try to get skip at all?
I think that's his best shot to try and catch up here, where he goes and peeks Esper Mountain.
Does he know he's behind at this point, though?
He might be feeling the pinch. Personally, I would be nervous if I didn't find a character after going through the entirety of Magitech and the entirety of Doma Dream. But then going to Floating Continent and seeing one there. Yeah, that would be very scary because in my head I would be thinking, well, did the other runner go here first? And as it turns out, yeah, Bosch did. So yeah, for Shadow Sid to catch up, the skip is his best play right here. So going and taking a peek at Esper Mountain. %100% the play.
There's not really any other options, is there?
You can head up and look at Kefka at Narsh.
Unfortunately, that's quite a bit of extra time just for a peek, but it does seem that might be what he's doing. Or he's looking for something.
Did he find... Oh, he found snow mufflers here. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see those last time. Snow muffler, fantastic piece of gear. The single highest defensive or physically defensive gear in the game. Plus, it's very cozy.
Regardless of anything else, this feels like it was pretty fast. Is this fast for the Doom flag set?
I would say so. I'd say it's pretty fast in general. Bosch, having to hike back up the tower, but is probably going to get through this around the 115 mark, maybe closer to 120, which is, that's a really good time.
And
Sid could have gotten the skip. I'm just now realizing that if he had picked up the Esper in Cave on the Veldt and then bought this, he would have been good to go.
You think that's what he might be doing now, or no? It looks like he's just sort of shopping for stuff.
I think he bought more ninja stars. So they're an upgrade over your shurikens.
And is your assessment, would that be that Bosch does have enough power to get through these side statues?
Oh yeah, easily. This goddess is not long for this world. The love token didn't come out, so plus she still has her back to Shadow, so gonna get the double damage there from that Ragnarok, and then the Shuriken will put her away.
And so that just leaves Doom over on the right-hand side. Is that right?
Yeah, and Doom is going to go down to that Atma weapon Cyan. And then Shadow Sid, just over an hour in, is going to make his ascent up the tower. I did not see how he adjusted his party, so it is possible that he is just going to try and do all the statues in one fell swoop. But time is running out for him. He is going to need a series of unfortunate events to happen to Bosch Nasty here in order to catch up.
Okay, so right now we are just trying to get Shadow Sid up through the tower. We know this is going to take a little bit of time just because you have to go, hit all the switches. You got to get through the ambush fight. Is there any reason for Sid to take the 2 dragon fights here?
I don't think so. Haste is a cool idea, but Like it's
Not worth it.
it comes too late to be super useful. I think like you don't make up the time that you spend killing the dragons, in my opinion.
And there's no real bonus to the XP at this point.
The XP is nice. I'm just not sure. Again, I'm not sure how much that's actually going to matter.
Okay.
Now it could be interesting if one or both of the dragons drop something like an Illumina.
Right. And that is perfectly possible in this scenario.
Yeah, but even then, I don't know. I think that best case scenario, Shadow Sid comes out like only very slightly ahead of what he was.
In any case, it does look like Bosch is through all of the statues at this point.
Yep. So he is going to make his climb up the tiers momentarily. So get ready in chat. How long is it going to take for Bosch to complete the statues? And my guess here is that it's going to be about a 9-minute climb.
Are you figuring out just based on the power output you've seen from him so far?
Yeah.
Because we do know he has Fenrir, but I don't know if we have any mute or if we have any of the other utility stuff we might want to have here.
I think he's got X Zone, so Doom is covered. Or instant death is covered rather.
Right.
As for mute, I don't remember seeing that either, and I don't remember him getting a Siren Esper, so we just have straight up Doom. Okay, good.
So tier 2 could be a bit annoying. Not necessarily a problem, but annoying.
Yeah. Tier 1 also very annoying. Our polarity is, now you got to take the time to switch your parties or switch your rows back around. But Bosch is actually going to wait on that for a little bit. Dread comes out. This is just a Petrify attack. Fortunately, it misses. That is also very annoying. But Bosch has to be careful. Because, that Gao could not survive another attack. As long as he was in the front row. That should put the short arm away, and yes, indeed. So now Bosch onto tier 2. We'll see if the mute does come out. With that auto reflect, Magic is a lot less annoying. But he's still very annoying, so I think we're still going to want to try and kill him first. He can cast Life 3 on the other parts of the statues there. So we're going to try and have that not happen. And the Shadow Sid having to chew through his Chatternook fight. The Realm has Quasar. And Quasar is a pretty decent lore. Not the best, not the worst. Only 2,700 damage coming out there, though. That -10 magic power really taking a toll on the damage.
So Kieran coming out.
And down goes Chad. I thought that Sid was going to have more issues with that, and I was wrong. Seraphim coming out for Bosch, nasty. Some okay healing. You take what you can get. Hopefully this North Cross misses everybody. Hopefully we don't get the full party. Okay, we just get Shadow. That is not ideal, but we can live with that.
Was Shadow the fixed dice user?
It is for Shadow, Sid. Bosch never found the fixed dice. For Bosch, Shadow is using the Ragnarok.
And Quasar's coming out.
Yeah, we're going to try and get magic down now. I think... Bosch has to be a little careful because Shadow's in the front row and cannot block because he is frozen. Frozen characters can't block or evade any kind of attacks, so... and that quarter coming out is brutal. So hopefully 10 hits won't be a thing yet. Hopefully the shuriken will actually kill magic. So now we'll get a peek at what kind of healing items we've got. Oh, did he sell the Mega Elixir? Oh no. Oh, this is potentially disastrous for Bosch. So hopefully he doesn't hit the Gal. Oh! Very nice. Okay, on to tier 3.
So, what do we have to dodge in order to have enough time to bring the party back up to health?
Well, I don't think Merton does anything. Whirlwind, I think, would be awful. Whirlwind into Meteor, I think, would just kill Bosch Nasty outright. And so right on cue, there it is. Yeah, and unfortunately, that Saya being at such low HP, that Atma weapon is just not good anymore. So down goes Magic. Or excuse me, down goes Girl. Yeah, he's looking for something, and unfortunately, he's just not going to find it. We'll have the life 3s. I think that Merton's actually going to help a lot. Yeah, it's going to bring Cyan back up to a respectable HP, so now he can actually fight. He does need to be careful.
Okay, Doom's aura is shaking, so we're in phase 2. Okay, and we do see Life 3 coming out, so that's calmness protection, right?
It sure is. Yeah, throw the Excalibur, throw Aura Lances. You need to get them. You need to get them out of this phase. Unfortunately, that did connect with Cyan. I think you chance it with the fight, and he does.
Yep. Okay. So calmness triggers.
Okay, and we're through.
Awesome.
Now the issue is gonna be Goner, because Goner's gonna kill Celeste and Gao. We still have life 3 that Shadow can cast, but we don't have a lot of ways to restore MP. So if he wipes here, Shadow Sid takes the lead.
Do you think he has enough offense to just get through this?
I think so.
And it looks like Shadow Sale is starting his own Final Kefka run about 114, 115.
Okay, so he does have an Ether. That's a good flare proc. But he needs to have life 3 on every member of his party.
And that's just because of how much damage that Goner is going to do.
The Goner's going to kill him, yeah.
Fallen one's out.
So, It's a very precarious situation for Bosch. Yeah, we need to pick her up. And she needs a life 3. Like there is no the path to victory through this is going to be life 3 on the entire party at all times. And you just hope you never see Revenger.
Okay, he's bringing Fenrir out now.
And that's perfect. Look at that. Blocking the Havoc Wing there. Very, very clutch. But he needs to start doing damage. Okay, here Goner is Goner. Looking for any kind of MP restoration. Has a tincture, I think, and that's going to be it. So Sketch Ultima, let's go.
Oh wow, yeah. Is that going to be enough?
I hope so. Oh gosh, that is a really bad.
Ooh. Do any of them survive that?
No, none of them survive, but I think that they're all life 3'd. So now we just need to be patient. We need to
heal up.
I would heal up, but I think he is also like very, very close to death. So this Skyrender might do it. Crack Pow for Bosch Nasty.
Great start to this round. Bringing it in for Grand Train, right?
Yes. Choo choo. Very nicely done by Bosch. That's terrifying. So getting through it like that, absolutely phenomenal. See if we can't get him in here for an interview.
Okay, and that looks like a final time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, 41 seconds.
That's what I see. And we're joined by Toki Wartooth. GG, sir.
Thanks very much, man. Yeah, it was a fun one. That was a heck of a final fight there.
Yeah, so scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most terrified. What was that like for you?
I'm still sweating. I couldn't remember if I had Life 3 on everybody, so that was kind of a big issue. I realized that Cyan was going to become useless because I ran out of heals everywhere. Yeah, at that point, I realized that I had some extra top tier gear at the bottom from after the statue fights with the pair of ore lances, and just kind of threw everything but the kitchen sink at him at that point.
Yeah, 100%. Can't blame you there. And again, like very, very nicely done. Having Life 3 on the whole party, I think, yeah, that was definitely your path to victory there, because I wasn't sure if you were going to get through Goner.
Yeah, same. That was like I knew I had it at that point. It was prioritized on Gao, and I knew I had it on Cyan because as long as Region was still active on him, he hadn't died yet. And after that, the other two I kind of forgot, so I might have caked on 1 or 2 extra in the process to be like, you know, better safe than sorry, because if they went down, it was going to be much tougher to get them up.
Yeah.
And from that point, because yeah, again, being out of heals, I had 1 Thunder Shield to break, and I mean, it was only Celius was going to be able to do that to hit 4 9s, I think. Gal would be close, but I figured throwing was, you know, I didn't want to trigger that ultimate counter either, because obviously I was toast at that last throw gamble there.
Okay, so you weren't actually counting the damage at the end there?
It was vague at that point, because I mean, it was more of just surviving the fight, and it was kind of like playing it by feel. Yeah, once I got past about 40k, it was kind of a guessing game.
Yeah, my man, I do the same thing.
Right, it's no fun if you always know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot safer though, you know.
That's why I threw on another Life 3. We were good.
Yeah. All right. So other like as far as, you know, not that part of the seed. Like, tell me how you think the actual rest of the seed went.
It went very well. I was confused as to where to start, so I kind of decided to go with the Gauss Velt check. When you saw I was gobbling up some checks, like I was more character heavy than I wanted to be with no espers. I knew there was an Esper in Sen, but I felt like that might have scaled me a little too far if I was trying to accomplish grind fighting through a check instead of just like running around on a field real quick.
Right.
So yeah, instead I decided to leave that one for later. And the funny thing is, I actually completely forgot about it until I was 1 Esper away, and then just looked over to the tractor and was like, "Oh, right, Zen," and that's when I was able to grab it at the end to actually unlock Kefka. But I felt that again with the vigor boost and finding every skein early and just getting that nice combo. I think the last item in the basement of Sealy's, as I was grabbing checks there, was the hero ring, which is great for the thrower. So I figured, and if you saw, like Gao pretty much did all of my fighting for the first like 5 to 10 fights.
Oh yeah.
I slowly worked in Cyan when Zama Weapon got there, and then we got very lucky with only having to go in 2 monster boxes, I think, right, for Katana Soul. Finding it in the second one inside of the Great Behemoth Cave Shadows check.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, everything was kind of just flowing, and then that was the last thing at that point. I've never actually done that center path and then warp out to do the 2 sides. I hope I did it pretty efficiently there. But everything, you know, it seemed like it was going to go smooth with the full party on the first fight, and then after that I had at least a substantial heal from one side or the other before I fought that dragon. And then again, that's that dragon giving you reflect sometimes can actually kill the run if you have health set up, through spells.
Yeah, I was actually
So-
kind of curious about that too, because I noticed that you were using health with that Celeste quite a bit. And you had Cure 2 on somebody, I don't remember.
Yeah, it started to get passed around, and then it was, I think, on Doom, where my brother sent a message, and he's like, oh, this is going to take longer than I thought. It's healing the bosses, because I forgot that even health reflects.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was down to, which I was glad I had Kieran, because Kieran was a nice tier 1 play. So I was able to kind of maintain a little bit of HP as we went up, and then I popped Seraphim on, I think, tier 2, just to keep everybody alive after 10 hits.
Yeah, just keeping that cyan up, I think, was super important, just because of the Atma offering.
Yeah, at the start, and once I saw that I just wasn't going to be able to keep him up as fast based on the moves I was getting hit by. It's tough too. You actually, if you saw early on, I had a Rage Ring and Blizzard Orb on everybody. So, I mean, elementally, we were pretty much protected, and there was a decent chance to absorb here and there. He really just didn't get lucky in those end fights. Like, he got healed with a Murden once, which was very fortunate. So that kind of helped us out on tier 3, I believe.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, and we do see that Sid has finished up with 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 56 seconds.
Yeah, GG Sid.
GG's.
GG's.
So, Sid, I think you got a little unlucky. Because you went through the entirety of Magitech, you went through Doma Dream, and you did not come away with a character. Did you at any point feel behind? Or were you just kind of like, I'm still getting pieces of progression, I'm okay for right now?
I mean, towards the end, when I was doing the Cave on the Belt check, I was starting to feel a little rushed. Like, uh-oh, I'm going to be in a character hunt again.
Yeah, and actually that was something I noticed too, because you had 10 Espers. You had peaked to Zen Thief earlier. You saw that was an Esper, and then there was the Esper in the cave. Did you think about doing the skip at all, or were you just kind of like, no, I need to get my character?
I was more worried about the character at that point, because I've been character locked on Doom flags before. Like the very last thing, Kefka and Arsh.
The Kefka and Arsh being your character progression is like a lot more common than it should be, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
I did feel strong. I just hunting down that character.
No, you were very strong. You picked up a Genji glove somewhere, and I don't remember where. And then you made that dive into the Coliseum. You found the fixed ice, and then you had Shadow rolling the bones for a little bit.
I think Genji glove was the tutorial room in Narsh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, brutal. I never went there.
Hey, he won, man. It worked out.
Yeah, that's very true.
Offering was in Cave in the Belt in the Monster in the Box.
Yep. Okay, so then the next question for both of you, and this is for both of you. So you got Realm, and like you, Esper Mountain could have been peaked for that 7th character for the skip. Were you like were the both of you just really like Sid? I understand your position a little bit more because you were feeling a little bit behind, but Bosch, were you ever considering like peaking Esper Mountain just to see?
The same moment I got her, and I believe was the same moment I realized I was only like, I feel like that happened in my head in a very short time span between that and noticing I was only 1 Esper away with the Zen Thief. So I would have done it, but the blinders were on at that point. Once I saw I was unlocking Kefka in like, what was that, 40, like mid 40s?
It was under 45 minutes.
Yeah, it felt like it was like at that point I knew I at least had 2 substantial characters. So I was like, all right, let me try the center path thing and just see how well it works out.
Yeah.
You got your unlock a good 15 minutes before I did.
Yeah, it was very. I got super fortunate with really. I don't think I had a single. Did I have a 10 check? I mean, I don't even know.
Well,
What
you
I
found
did.
the Ragnarok at MTech 1.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think to some extent that like one of the important differences is that you went to floating continent very early. From what at least that's how it seemed to me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was scary. That was the one time where my heart was the most jacked because there's so much unpredictability and like between the two mobs and the two bosses though fighting them back to back, you could just be dealing with a lot. But again, the thing is, Gal would throw and find the shurikens like first shot. It was I could win, theoretically, no matter what. So it was either going to be a matter of time thing. I'd either try to refight it, or if it was someone that was just too much of a pain, just come back later.
Yeah.
But yeah, finding all three skins though was definitely the big blessing because it was nice to run into a couple like thunder enemies and actually have a water for them. A couple things like that. Just really, I mean, I don't think there was a guy I didn't kill in less than 4 hits.
Yeah, and that's the thing with throw smarts, right? It's just throw is basically the best ability in the game. You might as well lean
just
very, very heavily on it.
Exactly, all the defense bypassing just makes it so nice. Like between elemental weapon, the whole nine. Everything you throw just turns to gold.
Yeah, oh yeah.
My Gao actually died on tier 3 to colonists.
Mine was mine blocked it. Yeah.
I had Finrir on.
Yeah, if you watch the RNG in my tower climb, there was some nasty stuff going on and some really fortunate stuff in the top tiers that worked out.
Did y'all see the Mega Elixir Miss Celeste on mine? That fallen one, I used a Mega Elixir and then she just stayed at 1 health.
Really?
I saw that, but I wasn't sure what I was seeing, so I didn't say anything.
Same. There's big question marks. I mean, the race is already over, but excuse me?
Did you have a setup where her spell evasion might have been too high? Where like I don't know, is that a glitch in the game? Where like
To dodge a Mega Elixir? I'm not even sure.
I've never seen it happen before.
Technically, maybe it counts as a spell, like a full recovery spell or something, instead of an item. I don't know.
Yeah, she just had 2 Atma weapons and a snow muffler.
I don't know. She should definitely get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back and watch that just to see what bug I just ran into.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Did she didn't have? I'm thinking of like a zombie-esque thing, maybe, but
No, she was blinded,
not even that.
and she just got cured with blindness right before the Mega Elixir went off. Like eye drop into Mega Elixir.
Strange.
Yeah, it was weird.
So
Again, it was.
Well, I'm never
after
using
it got
eye drops
finished.
again.
Yeah. Like that. That's so bizarre. I know eye drops can mess with RNG, but I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah. Those, especially because you're kind of using those in pretty close situations.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I have anything else for you all. Joker Mage, do you have anything for our runners?
GG to you both. That was a great intro for this first week of eliminations. And I look forward to what the rest of your group has to offer. I know we saw Oregon Dude and Scarcer in the chat. I think they're playing tomorrow. I don't know if it was finalized. And of course, Gar, who's been joining me in this commentary, doing most of the heavy lifting for the commentary, actually, is going to be up against Dreams Glue on Friday. So definitely some great matches to look out for.
I mean, I'd wish you luck, Gar, but
I get it. I get it.
Oh gosh, Team Grand Train.
Grand Train, choo choo.
Choo-choo.
All right. Well, then we'll turn it over to the runners. We'll start with Bosch. Do you have any final memes for us here?
No, just a fun run. Definitely one of those. I had something on my mind with Doom, like with the specific Doom flag set, but I'm blanking now. I'm sorry. Just I pass.
All right, Sid.
oh, just GG's. I mean, when a 121's not good enough, oof. Here in the big leagues. That's tough.
Yeah, well, both of you ran an excellent race. It was a pleasure to watch. Thank you both for agreeing to be on the restream. These things don't happen without the runners. So thanks for putting on a fantastic show. I know that everybody in the chat enjoyed watching you. So
Yeah, thanks. GG's.
Yeah, you too, man. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, look forward to it.
All right, boy.
all right, and I think with that is going to do it for us here on Speed Gaming. As always, I would like to thank Speed Gaming for allowing us a little bit of time on their channel. It is always greatly appreciated. Shout outs once again to Bosch Nasty and Sid, two excellent runners, and I am happy to do comms for them anytime. And speaking of comms, thanks to Joker Mage for both putting on the restream and being my co-commentator, and Knuckly Kong, who unfortunately had to take off, but he was our tracker, pushing the buttons behind the scenes. So I had a terrific time as always.
Yeah, and if you haven't already been part of our Worlds Collide community and you saw this and you're interested in learning more, possibly doing some of that, go to our website, join our Discord, and you'll find us there, and we'll get you started.
Yeah, we would absolutely love to have you. We have a great community, and we hope to see you there. But until then, this has been Shadow Sid versus Bosch Nasty with a Worlds Collide event. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great evening. Take care.